In fact, I'll go ahead and kick off the show with some breaking news on my end. Today, for the first time in 15 years, I went to the dentist. Yeah, first time in 15 years, I went and sat in the chair, no cavities or anything, which I told the lady that, it was probably the coating of Twinkie and Oreo that I had on, my teeth that led to the, keeping the cavities away. But so I mean, that's the news of the day. Unless you have anything, Jason.
Man, I don't. It's been very oddly quiet today, has it not been? I mean, absolutely nothing to talk about.
Exactly. That's kind of the way I feel. I it has. Let's see. All right, we already have someone wishing for you to address these Wesco rumors.
I
Let's go
have
ahead.
I have dug into this some, even going back to before this past weekend. Best I can tell, this is Oklahoma fans wanting to believe that Bryant Wesco is visiting Saturday. Um, you know, you never say never when it comes to recruiting, but I have not found anything of substance or talked to anybody that thinks his commitment's not solid. And that, I mean, he was just in Clemson the weekend before last, and it's not like that's just an up the road trip for him. That he's got to come from Texas, to make that trip. It's not like he can just hop in the car and drive there in a couple hours. So that's a big deal that he was back on campus for the Florida Atlantic game. I'm not expecting him to be in Oklahoma this weekend. Doesn't mean he won't be. I mean, I cannot sit here and tell you for absolute fact that he's not going to be there. I've seen the chatter too, but best I can tell, most of it's being manufactured from Oklahoma message boards. And somebody that I really trust told me today that was all smoke with no fire, and they don't think there's anything to it.
Yeah, yeah, I guess the question is now, yeah, does Dowd, uh, yank the scholarship offer he ends up going there? Because, he has a very, well established rule about, once you are committed to Clemson, then your other visits are off.
There's a number of different ways that could play out. If he were to show up there with some teammates or something, and the Clemson coaching staff knows ahead of time and he's not being secretive about it, maybe they're okay with it. I mean, I think everybody that follows recruiting remembered Deshaun Watson's, visit. I think it was to Auburn, if I'm not mistaken, right? Not a while after he had committed, but he let the coaching staff know, and they were kind of okay with it. They weren't going to yank the offer. I don't think he's going to be in Oklahoma this weekend. If he does, I tend to think it's going to be part of a group, and he's got permission from the coaches. It's not going to be something underhanded. Um, yeah, like I said a minute ago, I've dug into this mostly last week. I did talk to somebody today, but I did most of the digging last week. And best I can tell, this is just a lot of stuff coming from Oklahoma message boards. Person I talked to today doesn't think there's much to it.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and dive in to these rumors that we have been seeing at Clemson leading the ACC. You know, they are all over the place. And here's kind of the way I like for us to handle this. We will share with y'all exactly what we have heard through our sources, and you can take it for what it is worth. Okay? So, if you go back, the last trustee meeting, I heard that the terms and grant rights and all that stuff was discussed while the trustees were in executive session, and they are all fully on board with leading the ACC. Now, from our end, Clemson has done the legwork, they have done the due diligence, and we are told that an announcement is coming during the off week. There was a snag or two that held it up. However, everything that we have heard from August until this point has lined up. So, there is another quarterly trustee meeting on October 5th and 6th. However, that should have absolutely zero bearing on this. This is a done deal. As to where Clemson lands, I'm hearing the SEC has made a very, very strong case to get Clemson and FSU. So this is happening. Everything that I have heard since August is lining up with this. Everything that our executive editor Brad Sinka is lining up with this. And so, it's one of those things where this is happening. I think, that Graham Neff has done a hell of a job in keeping this kind of under wraps and stuff. I have heard, these rumors and stuff that DABO has already, been informed. I cannot confirm that, but this is a done deal. The grant of rights is not an issue any longer, and is full steam ahead. So your thoughts on this, Jason. What have you heard? I mean, I think that you and I and Brad are all kind of hearing the same stuff, and it looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah, any of you guys that follow me on Facebook know I've been saying this thing was coming. It's just a matter of when, not if. And I've been saying it is coming as soon as this season sometime. And I've been hearing the same things Zach's been hearing, that is coming. Announcements coming the week of the bye week, or sometime during the bye week, which would make perfect sense. That would be kind of the perfect timing to do that kind of thing if you're going to do it during the season. Heard the same thing you've heard about DABO, already having been informed, and that this is a done deal. Now I haven't heard any specifics about how they've gotten out of the grant of rights. Just the fact that it's done, it's happening, and we're gonna hear about it on during the bye week. I haven't really heard a whole lot about the where. I've heard different things. I've heard a little bit more SEC today and yesterday than I have been over the past month or so. So that's kind of intriguing. I've got a source that tells me that members of Clemson's board has been unofficially meeting with South Carolina's board over the past few
Mm-hmm.
months on more than
Mm-hmm.
one occasion to see if there can be some kind of deal struck that would keep South Carolina from trying to block a Clemson move to the SEC. Now I don't know how much progress, if any, was made during those meetings, but I have been told they've taken place. So starting to hear a little bit more SEC buzz than I was, say, 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is. I think the ACC got this whole thing ass backwards when they went out and got Cal and Stanford and SMU. I think they initially thought that the discount and additional revenue they would get from those teams at the discounted rate would be enough to keep, Clemson and FSU happy for at least a few more years. And I think it actually did the opposite. I think it didn't necessarily speed up the process because this process has been ongoing since the summer, and I think though it opened the eyes of the trustees and the leadership at Clemson that the ACC is not going to factor into the the landscape of college athletics in the way that they had hoped. And so, I think that instigated a more immediate need to move.
See, I kind of look at that thing a little differently. I think that was a desperation move to kind of, keep the team up, keep the league above that 15 number for when this move happens. I think the ACC has known this was coming, whether it was this year or next year. I think they knew it was coming, and they knew it was coming soon, and they needed to make a move in order to keep the league from falling below that 15 team mark. Because if you fall below that 15 team mark, ESPN's going to renegotiate the deal, and the payouts are going to be much lower than what they have been. That's why I think this whole thing is smelled of desperation from the get go, because it was desperate. They didn't have a move to make, not a logical move to make, so they went out and made an illogical move, and I think that was mostly just to, you know, kind of prepare for when Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, and whoever else leaves. Because I think they knew it was coming. I think they knew it was coming soon. And I think they knew there was nothing they could do to stop it.
Yeah, I can see your point. I think, that the way that they had structured this deal, they had hope, it could have, I guess, kept Clemson, FSU, UNC, and those guys around for, another year or so. The interesting thing that is going to come from this is, you know, are they locked in to next year, or will this movie next year? Because the SEC, they like to get their schedules out early. In fact, they're one of the first ones to come out of their schedules. And so, if you're adding, say, UNC, FSU, Clemson, here, Tickle says he's hearing UNC, Virginia, FSU, and Clemson. I mean, you are going to have to do a ton of, work in a very small amount of time to get these teams integrated.
Yeah, it's hard to see it taking place. The move happening before next season. That would be a lot of moving parts. A lot of things would have to happen in a quick amount of time. I could absolutely see it happening, ahead of the 2025 season, though. I don't think Clemson's playing in the ACC in 2025. Absolutely. Whether they're playing in 2024. We'll see. I think it's a possibility. I just think you have to have a lot of things go your way. It's a lot to do in a short amount of time. But we all know they want it out. They badly want it out for a while now. Not just Clemson. North Carolina has. Florida State has. Probably a few other teams has wanted out just as bad as they have too. I mean, they're locked into a bad deal that is going to get them left behind, and they had to do something to address it.
Well, it's not. Listen, it's not just the fact that they're going to get left behind. They are getting left behind. Yeah. I mean, every single Saturday that the Tigers take the field, they are getting left behind. I mean, just look at the numbers. They don't lie. SEC is king of college football. The Big Ten isn't far behind. The interesting thing here is going to, I think, really come down to Notre Dame and where do they land in all this? Do they stay in the ACC where they have their natural rival Stanford coming in? Or do they make a jump?
I think Notre Dame's going to stay independent. Now, whether they stay in the ACC and all these other sports, probably not. It doesn't take nearly as much for them to get out of that deal as they're not beholden to the grant of rights the way all these other ACC schools are. I think they're going to stay independent in football, at least for, the next television deal. Anyways, what happens after that, we'll see. But yeah, I think they're going to stay independent. I forgot what else you asked me there, man. I just drew a blank.
Yeah, Tickle here, gets into something interesting that I have heard mentioned that, Clemson, these other schools are just going to, yank out of the ACC and go independent for a year while everything is sorted out. Honestly, I think that's one of the stupidest things Clemson could do, and it is not happening. The trustees wouldn't let it happen. Ground never wouldn't let it happen. And you don't take your your guarantee money over here and hope that eventually someone will come get you over here. You saw, I think it was, who was it? Was it BYU that did that?
They were
Yeah,
independent for a little while.
yeah, yeah. And then they jumped back in because they couldn't make it.
No, I don't see any way, shape, or form Clemson's going independent. Who's televising their football games? If they were to leave, if they were to announce in October they're leaving, we're going independent beginning next year. Who in 2023 is going to be televising their football games? Who are you playing for? 11 games, 12 games. Whoever's televising your games definitely ain't going to be paying you the $40 million a year you're making in the ACC right now. I think that would be playing with fire to have announced you're leaving and not having a destination already worked out. I think that would be playing a very dangerous game.
Yeah, yeah, Rick, I think Jason just hit the nail on the head with this. You already have all these conferences with ties. The only way that you would get Clemson on TV, honestly, I think the only way I could see them even getting on TV would be if they went on the road for every game.
I mean,
Cause
ESPN's not going to televise you if you
yeah,
pull out of the ACC and go independent because you're pissing them off. They
yeah,
definitely not going to televise you. I mean, depends on how the grant of rights would be worked out too. Because they would owe the media rights to the league for however long. But you are going to be hard pressed to find somebody to televise your home football games if you go to
yeah.
try to go independent.
Yeah, I mean, Clemson has that, nice, neat little Clemson plus thing that they do. But that is not going to touch the financial losses that you'll see, if they go independent. And also, leaving the other teams in the ACC, that is not an option. This isn't, a all you can eat, buffet where you can go, all right, we'll leave, soccer and tennis and volleyball, softball, and all that stuff. And we are going to take football. The ACC wouldn't allow it. Why would the ACC allow, a a cash cow for them to take their, you know, biggest revenue source?
Yeah, I don't see how going independent is feasible at all. Even if you could, let's say, take the grant of rights out of it. Say you could freely leave the ACC. I don't see any television network. Number one, you're going to have a hell of a time scheduling that many games. And I don't see any television network paying Clemson that kind of money. Notre Dame don't make $40 million a year under their television deal right now. Clemson definitely ain't going to bring it in all by themselves. I know Clemson fans like to think their brand's as strong as Notre Dame, but it ain't. Let's be honest. They ain't going to get paid like Notre Dame as an independent.
No, that is all, just, high dreams and stuff. Yeah. Could 8 teams lead the ACC and Power League? Sure, they could, but that is not going to happen. You're talking about having to formally, get a commissioner in place, have all your legal ducks in a row. This isn't like, us going, hey, let's go start a little flag football league on the side. This is a major deal, a huge deal for this conference. It is going to have ramifications for years and years to come. Not just for these schools, but for the ACC. The ACC has to know that they are on they're basically, on life support.
The ACC is fixing to be a Group of Five school. Let's be real honest here. They're fixing to be no better than a Group of Five school. And talking about 8 teams forming their own league, I know there's been a lot of talk about if 8 teams decided to leave, they could dissolve the ACC. That's never been confirmed that I know of. I don't even know if that's true. But 8 teams isn't even enough for you to have a conference championship game. I think you got to have at least 10. Is it 10 or 12? Is 10 maybe? I know the Big 12 had to get a waiver when they dipped down below so many teams to have a conference championship game. So 8 teams ain't going to get it done anyways. But I just don't see Clemson leaving without having a landing spot. The future is these 2 power leagues. Let's face it.
Yeah.
It's the Big 10 and the SEC. And if you are not in one of those, you are getting left behind. If you try to go and form off your own deal, you're not going to get the money you're making now. Probably. I doubt it. I mean, it's going to be it'd be split up with less teams, but I doubt you're going to be bringing in enough to give you what you're getting now. And you're definitely not going to be getting enough to get twice as much as what you're getting now, which is what your rivals are getting in these 2 power leagues. They're going to be bringing in double what Clemson and the other ACC teams are bringing now, maybe even a little bit more than double. You got to be in one of those. And I don't see how you jump out unless you have a confirmed landing spot already in place.
Yeah. Look, whether you like it or not, college football is turning into the NFL, where you got, the SEC is the NFC and the, Big Ten is the AFC, and you're going to have some other little conferences try to, compete with them like you had, the USFL.
Big 12.
Yeah. It is, these 2 conferences are the, premier conferences in the country. And anything else is going to be the equivalent of the USFL or XFL or whatever you want to call it. They're going to, little fish in a huge, lake. And I think, yeah. Join the SEC or 18 can. Yeah, here's the thing, yeah. Not sure, how much enrollment has to do with anything. I mean, if enrollment was the case, Clemson shouldn't compete with USC because they have all those satellite campuses across the state. And honestly, yeah, that the endowments and stuff, if you want to see uh, the dollar signs go up, get in one of these leagues.
And if we talking about endowments, I think Harvard's got the biggest one in the country. I mean,
Uh-huh.
Texas has got one of the biggest ones in the country. It ain't done them a lot of good the past 20 years. It's how you spend that money, man, and it's really all about television revenue. You can't use that endowment money to go pay NIL. You can't use that on NIL. I mean, that's a little bit different. It's all about television revenue, and at some point, now I'll also throw this in there. I think at some point you're going to see these two leagues when they get finished expanding and they know they're done, they're going to break away from the NCAA totally.
Yeah, that is an awesome point. I think, and look, DABO has said this for years that the NCAA is a dying and dead entity. I think you're exactly right. I could not agree with you more. The NCAA is dying, they're losing power, and as soon as these two leagues get set up the way they want, they're going to tell the NCAA they can kiss their ass, and that we are going to do our own thing. And if you don't like it, screw you. We don't care anymore.
Yep, 100% agree. And we're heading towards where you're going to be. Players are going to be playing salaries. There'll probably be a players union. Once this whole thing gets worked out in the end, I think the NCAA, they might have some staying power with whatever's left over. But as far as these two big leagues, I think you're going to see a complete break.
Yeah, well, you have already started to see it with the CFP. I mean, they have absolutely zero play in that, and really the governance of the whole football entity is, is slowly moving from them to the conference level, where the conferences are the ones that dictate the rules and regulations and everything else. So,
for the most part, except when it comes to denying a eligibility waiver, for Tez Walker.
yeah.
That's about the only power the NCAA's got left these days.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I wish that, that, UNC and back around would just, give the NCAA the middle finger, and say, you know what, we are going to play Tez. I don't care what it means. Y'all got this wrong. And that is all they like to do now is, be on the wrong side of history, it seems.
Absolutely. I would love to see North Carolina run Tez. I mean, what are they going to do? say,
Yeah.
oh, come after the season, say, oh man, we're going to strip you of these wins and vacate these wins. Man, nobody cares about that stuff after the fact. Nobody cares that Georgia Tech had to vacate the ACC championship in 2009 when they beat Clemson. Nobody cares about that. All they remember is Georgia Tech winning that game. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
Nobody cares that USC and Reggie Bush, had to vacate that stuff. It is a joke. You know, I feel terrible for him. However, it is just another instance of the NCAA trying to flex their muscles and really they are trying to get into a what measuring contest with these conferences.
yeah,
And
that
they
the move from what they did with Tez Walker didn't even really make sense. I get it. Yeah, he's transferred twice, and you firmed up your rules on giving out waivers for players who transfer twice before graduation. But you know what? Those didn't go into effect until a few days after he got to North Carolina. He should be playing, man. It's just it doesn't make any sense. Some of these things. It's such an archaic institution. It just needs to just be done away with.
yeah, yeah. So, what is our percentage on Clemson's conference in 2025? I think they are all in the SEC at 100. Actually, I'll go 99. To the SEC and leave that so 100% to the Big Ten. However, I think the the bigger question is which conference is Clemson in next year.
Yeah, 2025. As far as percentage, I'm going 100% Clemson, not in the ACC. um, I'm not going quite as high as Zach. I'll say 80% SEC. I'm gonna leave a little bit there. I have not heard enough from the right people as far as the where goes. I've heard from the right people about the announcement, when it's coming, and all that stuff, but just not the where yet. So I'm still a little torn on that part. But man, it sure does sound like the SEC right now.
Yeah, uh, all right, so just heard this news said that Clemson is likely in the exit from the ACC is likely this year. Administrators at Clemson prefer the SEC. However, they would be okay with the Big Ten as long as there's some kind of Southern division. Which, the thing is, yeah, in these schools and conferences start getting to that 20 team mark, then they can have a lot of room to say, we're going to have a northern division, eastern, western, southern. Like I said, I see this becoming like the AFC and the NFC. I think you're going to have an SEC North, SEC South, SEC East, and SEC West. Same thing with the uh, Big Ten. Uh, the thing is, you know, as soon as they do that, and they are out of the NCAA's thumb and influence, I think that you'll see them go off strictly to an NFL type, playoff where you have your divisional round, then you have your conference championship, and these two teams meet each year for the national title. I
And
mean,
at some point, the playoff is going to be just between these two power leagues, right?
yeah,
You're not going to have what's left over. I know the Big 12 thinks they're going to still be this power league. It's not. I don't think 5 years from now, I don't think the Big 12 is going to be in the same playoff as what the SEC and Big 10 have. The ACC definitely won't. There ain't going to be no Pac-12. None of those G5 schools are going to be have access. I think it's going to come down to, I don't know how it's going to be set up quite yet, but it's going to be similar to the NFL. You have your divisional round between one league and your championship round between one league, and then the two champions of each league meet off for the national title somehow.
with what I'm saying, out of conference games is like for is there lose money. Uh, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about there. Uh, you know, I love that Clemson, tries to help out in-state schools as much as they can, each year. However, I think that, I think that, schools like Furman and Wofford and Charleston Southern Coastal, all these in-state schools, Clemson has to look out for themselves first. And I think, that is where if you can help out these little schools, that's great. Obviously they come to Clemson, get their ass kicked, and take home a check that funds their athletic operations for the next year. The thing is that you can't let those decisions and those thoughts dictate your school's path forward. And I honestly think that those games are done, eventually.
I absolutely agree. Once we get to the finish line of wherever we're headed, these games will no longer exist. You're probably going to see strictly, mostly conference games. I'm not sure there will be any out of conference games, to be quite honest. I think the sounds like kind of the television networks are pushing for 10-game conference schedules right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to leave room to play Furman or South Carolina State. And when you start getting upwards of 20 teams in each one of these leagues, you might end up having more than, you might end up with 11 conference games, just all conference games, and any out of conference action you get between the two leagues comes into playoff. I could see it working out that way. Maybe you have one out of conference game every year to work with, but I don't think you're going to have four. I don't think you're going to have three. I don't think there's any way you're going to have 3 and 4 to work with anymore. You might not have two, and you might not even have one when it's all said and done.
Yeah,
The Big Ten already doesn't let your schools schedule against FCS competition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as you were sitting there talking, I was thinking, the the hard I think the the closer to the NFL this is going to get, I could see there, being five, you know, or four divisions with five schools in each division. You play each of those schools twice, and home and away, and then you get your cross division or whoever rival. I that is not going to sound great to a lot of people, but honestly, I think the NFL, look, like it or love it, they have the strongest, you know, I guess, strongest foothold in the market because of the way they can create parity. And I think, allowing schools these, home and away, I, you know, I would love for Clemson to get a home and away, with Alabama and Auburn and Florida and Tennessee. The issue is, how long does it take before these conference reliance are done? These schools are settled in, and we can start to get some semblance of, you know, of normalcy and understanding of what these are going to look like.
I think we're starting to near the end. I think the end is in sight. Um, the Big Ten got what they wanted from the Pac-12. The SEC got what they wanted out of the Big 12. What was left of the Pac-12 went to the Big 12 and the ACC. Now it sounds like at least one of those leagues is getting what they want out of the ACC, which is about all that's left. Um, After that's done, we might be done with expansion for a little while. We'll see. I originally thought we could see upwards of 60 teams break off and do their own thing. Maybe it's going to be closer to 40 than 60.
Mm.
I think we're going to get there faster than I originally thought. And I think it's going to end up kind of close to what you were talking about with a kind of like an NFL scheduling model, regular season and postseason.
Yeah, the issue I could see arising is when you look at, the scope of stuff outside of football, because you're talking, softball, baseball, soccer. These are all sports that are heavily governed, by the NCAA. And so, you know, is is this, or I guess the question is, will this model for football work for, say, baseball?
It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the rest of the sports and how they handle this, because that's a good question. Does football go off and do its own thing and leave all the other sports behind? If Clemson goes to the SEC, heck, they don't even do men's soccer. That's one of Clemson's most storied programs. What happens to that thing?
Mm,
There are a lot of unanswered questions here that's going to make this, kind of exciting over the next few months.
yes, it will. Clemson's has scheduling relationships with several SEC schools in the past. Should be a no-brainer. Absolutely. I the Georgia. I think they kind of, don't they jump back on the schedule next year?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and then
home and away.
yeah, Yeah. And then we also have a home and away schedule with LSU, like, 10 years from now. So, yeah, I think that this is the SEC is the most obvious choice for Clemson. Is going to, I think, come down to can South Carolina and Clemson come to some sort of agreement.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think they're going to come to some sort of agreement, and work it out. Who is going to financially benefit, we shall see. But it doesn't happen without them working out some kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Not sure why Larry agrees with you because,
Hey, Larry was mad with me the other day, man. Matter of fact, he was mad with all of us. Larry was mad that we all picked Clemson to lose to Florida State.
uh-huh.
He let me know too.
Uh-huh.
It's about time you came back over to my side there, buddy.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, as always, uh, check out ClemsonTigers.com for all the latest stuff that we have coming surrounding these realigners. And also, Jason has some great stuff going in the Death Valley domain. Recruiting information, insider stuff. And listen, I need to take a second because, we have caught a little flag for going kind of the, I guess, paywall route with some of our stuff. Look, it was a decision that was not made lightly by any of us. It was simply a, decision that we made to help continue to grow and cover this stuff, cover our events, and continue to give you the excellent coverage that you have come to, expect. So we did, price it at $10 or $20 a month. We chose $4.99, and so I just want to apologize to anyone that was offended or thinks that we are going all the way, through a paywall site. We are not doing that. It is just simply a decision that had to be made. We appreciate everyone that has already joined. If you're interested in joining, you can go to allclemsontigers.com and click on the Death Valley domain, and it'll take you there.
Yeah, let's be clear. We're not going all paywall. We still got a lot of free stuff, and we did not make this decision out of greed in any way, shape, or form. You know, and this
Mm.
was not about that in any way. If it was, we'd have been charging $10, $12 a month.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, someone understands that. Yeah, yeah. It is all about that sink of guy. I mean, he is moving right now into a. I think he's actually moving into a house in Dallas neighborhood. With a.
Gated community.
Yeah, yeah.
He needs y'all to help him support that move to the gated community.
That's true. Yeah. So, like Jason said, a lot of our stuff is still going to remain free. It is just, some things that we saw as extra, uh, stuff and experiences. We just needed to charge let's see. Yes, sir. That's what I heard too. I heard his new house is going to. In fact, I heard that he had to make sure he was within the mile limit of campus so that Dad could take recruits to his house.
the new hot spot for the recruits when they come to town.
Yes, sir.
And there you go.
That's
Nailed it,
it.
brother. Nailed it.
Yeah. Yes, sir. In fact, he is going to be coming up tomorrow to cover Eric Vacic's fall camp.
I will, in fact, be up that way again tomorrow. And here I was thinking that first I wasn't coming up this weekend. Football in Syracuse. We're doing that from home. Never mind. I'll be up tomorrow.
Exactly, yeah. You just had to go out there and show off your swing again.
Oh yeah, I got to go defend my crown from last year. I was absolutely the best hitter out there, man. I got to, I haven't swung a bat in a long time. I looked, somebody out there filmed it for me, man, and put it on Twitter. I noticed I was dropping my shoulder. I got to make sure I don't drop my shoulder this time.
That's right. Look, you are you are no Marcelo Zuna.
No, I was lucky to get a few out the infield.
Let's see. Yeah. All right. Listen, thank you all for joining us today. Do us a huge favor, like and subscribe to our channel. It honestly helps us grow. It helps, us, be able to do this stuff more often. We have a ton of coverage coming for you this weekend as the Tigers take on Syracuse. And,
and I'm gonna do some more digging on the West Coast stuff. See if I can find out anything else. And I saw you asked me about any more guys. Yeah, Clemson needs a couple more guys in this class. They need 2 more offensive linemen and a linebacker. So they better hope they get some more guys in this class. All three of
Exactly.
them were on campus for the Florida State game too. I'm supposed to talk one of those guys tonight, actually, in about an hour, favor Edwin. So fingers crossed again. It worked out last night. We'll see if it works out tonight or the night before last.
That's right. Listen, thank you all for joining in the conversation. And this is going to be the place as soon as something drops. You'll want to make sure that you're subscribed and you have that little notification bell on. Because as soon as something drops in the next couple of weeks, you'll hear it here first. So thank y'all so much for joining us tonight, Jason. Be safe coming up tomorrow. And we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks so much, guys.